I'm a little fearful.
What?
I got a double dose of seatbelt that I have attached firmly to my ass. Keep me in this seat for as long as I have to be.
Are you sure you want to stay in that seat?
No, it's not going to go well for me. We have laughs coming from everywhere. All right, what it is another segment of Cure Untapped. Sitting to my left is the beautiful, wonderful, the dialectic, the foreigner to all anywhere in the world. She has no home. She was issued by the government. Crapped out on a bench post. Hatched in the sun.
I travel everywhere.
Kira Peterson.
Wherever the wind blows.
From Tony Romo's home. Burlington, Wisconsin.
I don't know if I would want to say his home.
Maybe that's where he grew up.
That's true.
They're big signs. And laughing in the background, we have Phyllis Spielman, high on a Rocky Mountain high, coming down the fastest slopes in 4 different locations all at once.
Yes.
How are you doing, Phyllis?
Doing great. Flying by the seat of my pants today.
Well, and from what we've
we
heard...
don't want it any other way, Phyllis.
What we've heard, it's a nice seat that it is. So we'll just, first class all the way, no coach in Phyllis Spielman's life. If she can't sit in the front... Near the cockpit, she doesn't go on the plane. So, anyway, we're going to do a little recap what we did the last time that we were on air. And that was we left on a moment's notice, not too soon, on breakups and makeups.
We were talking about relationships.
Oh, relationships.
And the whatever steps of getting ready for a date.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
And how it takes girls 3 hours to get ready for a date.
I still haven't figured that out. But today's show is brought by the Bottle Shop in downtown Lake Geneva. And it's a wine bar, and it's a wonderful place that we're going to go after the show. We're going to do a little country western music writing today, which is going to be fun.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, why am I not there?
Well, it's going to be fun, and you might be the title focus of it. It just depends on how the show goes, Yep. We had a little warm-up in the car earlier today. It was quite hilarious. But the Bottle Shop is a place where you can go in and you can sample all kinds of bottles of wines from all over the world. It's
I'm
at
ready for it.
617 West Main Street in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. Their telephone number is 262-348-9463. And Beth Toomas, who is the owner, is a great friend of ours, and they're going to be in our magazine. She's going to be on our show, on that other show we do.
In 2 weeks?
2 weeks, December 6th.
No wonder.
Yeah, on the Where to Play Golf show and on the distilleries, breweries, and wineries of the world. But today we're talking about Cure Untapped. And, as I'm just a moderator, I'm just going to facilitate. Kira finally showed up for work today after a couple days off, and I said, well, Kira, what's the problem? She said, I had a breakup.
No, I did not. I was not like that whatsoever. No, it was more.
On one end, it seems.
It was more like, woo, I'm free. And every girl loves that feeling.
So from a girl's perspective, take it away, Kira. Tell us what this world is all about. And Phyllis, I know somebody as beautiful and as lovely as you've never had a breakup. You just cast them away like old Kleenex when you're done with them. Use them, abuse them, and cast them down the mountain.
They're more or less kind of fade away. I let mine just kind of fade away.
But that's the best part, when they're just like, okay, this isn't going anywhere. We have nothing in common. Next.
And where do they go? Go ahead.
I don't know where they go.
They never really truly go away, They kind of linger sometimes.
It's like that itch you can't scratch. They just won't leave.
Or in other words, when you're cooking with onion, the aroma never leaves the kitchen, is what you're trying to say? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it's like, when you spray Febreze and you spray it and then it kind of lingers.
So, in the early days of your dating, when you do is you take home one of his shirts and you take it to bed, and oh my goodness, that aroma, his scent is always with you through the night.
Ugh. No. I was never that person.
I think I was one of those, have it, and you have that shirt, and they go right in the military, and you're like, oh, and it lingers, and then when it dies down, you go and think, what perfume or what cologne did they wear? I was one of those.
I think that was my first relationship. Then I was like, "Can you please go away? I don't want your cigarette smoke on me."
So the Rolodex of breakup isn't something you have sitting on your desk?
I mean, I could go through a list of people that I broke up with.
So I've just from a guy's perspective.
Yes.
So you went through something this week, just a bobble in the road again, Kira?
It was more just a fart in the wind.
Fart in the wind.
That's the only way of describing whatever that was.
So
it was 1 month of.
Okay,
What were you gonna say, Phyllis?
I was going to ask that. Yours was 1 month. Mine had a 3-month rule.
It was a 1 month, and the funniest thing was, he asked me to move up to Madison after 1 month. I'm like, that might have been. No, he just wanted me to move up to Madison, and I'm like, I'm sorry, but this isn't going anywhere.
Well, I thought he was fulfilling the, your wedding plates, the kind of things you're going to have, and your dining room set, and color of their dress, No, after a month?
Mine was like that after a month. Yeah, they're like, okay, where are we getting married? And I'm thinking, did you propose? I mean, I don't even know yeah. They're like that. I'm thinking, it's funny you say that, Randy, because that does happen.
It makes me think of when this guy that I was just dating, he was like, we're not exclusive. I'm like, okay, so I can date other people, but when he did, I was okay with it. But when I went on dates, he was like, nope, what's wrong with you? I'm like, that's called a double standard.
See, that double standard, I think there isn't I would say there isn't a double standard in my books. It's like, there has to be completely open relationship, not open but if you can do it, I can do it. If you go out with the girls or go with the guys, and I can go out with the girls.
Yep.
And just have that mutual respect. If I go out, please don't call me every 15 minutes and saying it's almost 11 o'clock, you need to be home. And I'm like, whoa.
So I've got a question, Phyllis, now that we have you on here and we're talking about how people connoiter together and whatever connoiter means. You're in the world of Hollywood and acting and all those kind of good things. This past week, obviously, a lot of politicians have and directors and have had their name in there. Have you ever had those experiences when you've gone out and tried out for roles where guys were directing when they should be observing, maybe doing expectations that you, in other words, were they hitting on you when you didn't want them?
Oh, sure, but I think I am fortunate enough to be a little bit older, starting in the game, that I can deflect it rather quickly. But whether or not that cost me the job or not, I would say, yeah, maybe a couple of times. But sure, it's been happening, and mentioned, and the casting couch and whatnot. It does exist. It's just you have to be, at the time, I think I was in a relationship, so it's even more awkward when someone hits on you and you are in a relationship, because you really are you want them to look at you for your talent, not just for your looks, and you have to. You just feel awkward. You're just like, yeah. So now, what was this role about? What was this about? I didn't really see that in the scene there.
Deflect.
Yeah, and something of the nature where I've even had people say, "Hey, can you send some pics?" And I'm thinking, "Okay, can you send some pics?" And I'm thinking, "Well, can you go to my agent and ask for those?" So yeah, you have to be real careful, because in the age where everything's out there, like people, some women and men, also both, will send pics and not thinking that, hey, right now you're maybe starting out, or you're on your way up, and next thing you know, those pics are going to resurface. Those can be used against you and for you. So these directors or producers or casting agents, yeah, they're going to sometimes throw that out there just to see if you'll bite. And if you're not aware of it, you can get caught in this conundrum.
Well, it's also got to put some kind of stress. If you have a relationship with a guy, there's got to be a big trust factor on his part, because they know that you're constantly being hit on and you're constantly being put in roles, and some of those roles are there's a lot of activity that goes on in front of the camera too. That it could be just mindless and acting, but it still is. It's still whoever you have a relationship with. It's got to be a little bit stressful.
Oh yeah, and social media on top of that. You add that on there, and guys are like, "Hey, I want to marry you," and you just laugh at it because it's just social media. They're fans from Timbuktu, and you're like, "Okay, sure, right on. Let me hit on that." But it's really difficult in a relationship for people to understand that that's what it is. At the end of the day, you're at home, you have your normal life, and all that is people and their fantasies and whatnot. I've even had a producer before say, "Hey, you shouldn't put your significant other on your your social media because it will, if you're with a guy that has brown hair, brown eyes, it's going to make all those people that have blonde hair and blue eyes go, okay, she's not interested in my type," which was really weird to me. I'm thinking, it's our social media, our time to go out there, but you have to be real secure in your relationship. Whoever that guy is or girl is that is with you, they've just got to understand it's the nature of the beast, and you're out there as an actress to promote yourself, to promote your work, and you just go with it, and you don't really think much. You're thankful for the fans or the people that give you compliments, but you don't. Seriously, are you going to marry someone that says, "Will you marry me" on Facebook?
Well, I thought what you should do is just say yes. That'd be awesome. I was looking at your social media, and I'll ignore all the things that I found on Google, in the last 5 minutes. So not a problem. But we have young Kira who has another dilemma.
What is that?
Well, you've been following rock bands all your life, and you know what girls that follow rock bands do.
Oh yeah,
Kira?
I've heard.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard.
Easy, big and squeezy.
Oh, I've heard all of those things when I was younger. Probably, how old was I? 17 or something. Somebody's like, "Oh yeah, there's a rumor going about you," and I'm like, "What?"
It's not a rumor. It's all true.
Yeah, they're like, "Yeah, there's a rumor going about you," and they're like, "So we heard through the grapevine that you slept with." He was like my brother. And
really?
They're like, "Oh, yeah, you've been sleeping with your brother's band, all of them all at once." And I was like, "What?" And I was with them at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And my really good friend who was the drummer was like, "Oh, yeah, Kira, you and all those other girls, we just have so much fun with all of you guys." And I was like, "I know you're joking, and I love that you are." And he's like, "Just play on with it. Who cares?" And that's why ever since then I've had thick skin when it comes to band guys. You're like, "Oh, yeah, they hit on you." I'm like, next. I don't care.
So from your perspective, looking at guys, because I can only look at it from the guy perspective. Okay, we have no perspective or understanding of women, none. All we know is that women have been hit on, since kindergarten, basically, and we feel that we have to have that image that we're the best, we're the biggest, we're, the most of everything. Now, I know in my case that is the case, but, I am the gold standard that everybody's measured against. That, you see that, not really.
Someone does a wave and they're knocking on your door. There's one there.
It is crazy. That's why I had to get
bat them off.
I had to live in a double-gated community. No, you don't know what I do, Phyllis. On Friday night, I so much love my world of my grandkids and my family that I started posting on Facebook about a year ago that I was going to build a moat. I was going to live in a gated community. That on Friday night I filled the moat with alligators and hot water with electricity in it. Then I pulled the drawbridge up. And I am done for the weekend dealing in the world of anything relationship-wise. I am just I'm just a mean old craggy guy that likes to live behind my own walls, So because I'm happy as where I'm at in life. So I don't know. I can't compare. I've had too big an ego, so in my world I just don't care about it. But a lot of guys do care, and again, guys get so defensive.
Yes,
they do.
I totally agree 100%.
Super defensive. Yeah, I had this, or it's that projection thing. Like they had this projection on the world that women that go to Four Seasons are there to be escorts. I remember my first time going to Four Seasons Hotel not too long ago, and it was after a play. Yeah, it was awesome, right? And I'm like, yes, this is cool. I get to go in there and see all these neat little lights and these neat little fixtures. I'm like, all right. I go in there, having a couple of drinks with girls, and next thing you know, you're in Four Seasons. Oh my God, there's guys they're gonna hit on you, and they're gonna think you're an escort and you're a little hoochie. And I'm thinking, what? I'm just having a drink. I'm just sitting here having a drink. And I thought, well, yeah, it was GQ. That Four Seasons was this and this. And I'm thinking, what? No way. It's so nice. It's really pretty. So that perception, I'm thinking, it's like, hey, guy, I'm really, with women, we just want to just hang out. Next thing you know, you're talking for 2 hours, right? Kara, that does happen, right?
Yep.
And you're thinking, okay, that 30 minutes I was going to be here turned into an hour and a half. And for me, I don't think anything about it. I just go and go home. Hey, have a good night. See you later. But
he thinks the complete opposite.
Okay, and better yet, when in today's society, there's FaceTime if you have an iPhone, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing better than, FaceTime. Sure, you get to see all these lovely ladies that were having drinks, and it's still not enough some days. And I'm thinking, you got to be secure in your relationship, and that goes with men and women. But we have it hard sometimes, women do. And
I totally agree.
I know. You're innocently going out, having a good time,
and there's nothing. I was going to say, there's nothing to it. People are, especially the guy that I was seeing, he was very insecure every possible way. To put it nicely.
Yeah, there's nothing more attractive, though, than when a guy is secure. Man, when he's like, you're like, awesome, and then you're all excited, like a little puppy coming at the door. Hey, I'm home. Your little tail's wagging. But when they're like, calling you every second, you think, what's going on? You want to be happy to miss that person if you're in a relationship with and have them trust you.
Oh, yeah. I totally agree. I was just talking with Randy, was it this week or last week, about trust and being secure with me being a music photographer.
Her being a music photographer and of course we have a somewhat different age group here, so she's still in that world of the fantasy that relationships actually do work. Me, I'm a broken shell of a man. I know better, but so no, not really. I mean, everything. Yeah, as I say to everybody, I know it's over when I have to go see a guy in a robe, and I have to start paying. But but it's just in dealing with Kira is like, I just told her, I said, I said, our company is having so much fun, is that the last thing you should do is worry about anybody that comes in your life right now, because we have so many people that want to be, certainly part of her life. And for me, it's just fun to sit in the background going, oh, just get over it.
That's totally how I feel now. I'm just like, I'd rather.
Because you should be able to enjoy your life right now with whether you're single or in a relationship. Just enjoy what you're doing and realize this is like I won't say a crap, but it's something you like to do. It's part of you. Therefore, they just need to take the ride with it or let you go.
Yeah, I was telling him, I'm like,
or you let them go.
I'm like, I am so much happier single. Just putting it out there.
I'm right on that train right now.
Yeah, it's just fun, and again with our company, we're getting ready to go back on the road the first part of the year, and we go down to the PGA show. That's a place where it's my home and where our company has really got some deep roots, and that's where the golf world begins. And of course, being the platform of the distillery, breweries, and wineries of the world. How bad is this? Let's go play golf and drink. So that's what our main. It's
god awful.
It's terrible.
It's terrible.
Who came up with this concept?
I just don't know how we're gonna survive.
I don't know, and why you'd want to be anybody if they think that they would have an ego problem with you in bands. Wait till they would see you down at the PGA show, because that is the land of Rolexes and Lamborghinis and a lot of money.
Yeah, and you just gotta have fun and enjoy and because that's this is what this is about anyway, just enjoying life and having fun, because you only have one life.
Well, that's what, as the founder of the company, not to get into it too much, but I just want all you guys to have fun, and that's what we're all about. And
I'm all about that.
And
no stress.
The first week I, had Kira come in, I really valued her as somebody coming to work for me, and all we did is sit at Starbucks and watch her cry for about a week, and I was like, oh my God. I need my counseling degree or something, but I don't. And again, I don't understand women. I'm not taking any.
And look at now. I'm not.
Look at now.
I didn't cry once today.
No, and we don't work on Friday. We're going to go drink and write some real bad country western music. So it's like fun.
That's awesome.
So when you're back to the topic at hand, what's the worst bust up you ever had?
bust up.
Yeah, you broke up with somebody. You cried a lot, or he cried a lot, or yelling and screaming, or is he just? How do you do that?
I don't even. Go ahead, Phyllis.
Dude, I'm like, yeah, I've had a few. I think I've had just a few years on it, just a few. I think mine would have to be because I have kids, so my kids. If you break up with me, you're like breaking up with all my kids. So don't even try to come back in because they're like the door. They'll be standing there like you're not getting in their way, and so that's where my worst breakup is with that. If you break up with me, you're breaking up with the kids, and so they're not as easily. They don't easily forgive.
Well, is this a breakup with the father of the kids, or just other people that came along after?
Oh, this would be after.
Yeah.
After that, I've been divorced for quite a while, about 12 years. But so since that, having teenage boys, they're now a little bit older, but man, that is the teenage, because they're boys in themselves, so they're like, Mom, we know what he wants.
He just wants a good dinner.
We know what that guy wants.
He just wants a good dinner. How many kids do you have, Phyllis?
I think my worst was when I was dating someone, and they came in and they were complaining about something, and my oldest called him what he called him? Not a slut, but he called him a little
man whore.
The ussy with a P, P. And I'm like, I was like, oh my God. And then so the guy was like, he left, and then I'm thinking, first of all, if you're going to let a kid ruffle your feathers like that, you're not even worthy of being here. I'm like, are you serious? You're letting a little kid tell you that? I'm thinking, oh, Lord. And then after that, it's like, all right. So they're like my little meters, I call them. They test. I call it I'm like the old. I don't even know if you don't want to cuss on the radio, but I'm like the old sheep meter, with the D in the end with the Q. And so they recognize that rather quickly.
I had a friend.
Probably one of the worst.
I had a friend of mine that showed up one night at my doorstep, and he had a big gash in his forehead. And I go,
"Oh my God!"
I said, "What happened to you?" He says, well, "I think it's over." And I go, well, "What happened?" I said, "You want me to call the police?" And he goes, "No, I was packing downstairs, getting ready to leave." And she thought she'd help me out by taking one of the drawers from upstairs and throw it downstairs and hit him right in the head.
Oh, my gosh.
And I was like, seriously, dude, you got a gash in your
forehead.
Oh, my gosh.
I could not even imagine.
And I said, I think it is over. And he had been struggling with this relationship. It was a second marriage. Didn't have any kids or anything. And I just said, how about you just do a shot and a beer with me? Just get over it,
I think you need it.
I'm pretty jaded when it comes to the end time in a relationship. That's ridiculous.
I was going to say, I think mine was when I lived in Nashville, and I had to end up taking my ex to court.
Oh, nice.
Oh, boy, yeah. Did yours ever cry, Kara, in front of you? Like, did your boyfriend ever, really cry in front of you and tell you, you're like, I can't believe you're doing this thing, actually literally rolled on freaking crying?
I am.
And as you're trying to shut the door and they're trying to open it and asking you why you don't love me, and I'm like, dude, really, guys?
I think it's happened once or twice, and I was just like, I just can't do this right now. I can't deal with men crying. I know if they're sensitive, I get that, but
you know what? The topic. This is going to be our next show that we're going to do. Gold diggers.
Oh my gosh!
I want to have a segment on gold diggers because I got no money. Okay, you got nothing.
That's my favorite topic because being a music photographer.
Oh wait a minute, maybe Phyllis, are you a gold digger? I'm sorry.
No. Mine's the opposite. Mine's like they'll say that and try to put all these dangly little carrots, and I'm just like, okay, you can go take that carrot and go eat it or go, bury it. I'm like, no, I'm gonna freaking take that carrot and freaking put it in the little rabbit.
It was just funny. I had met somebody that it was a period in time I was working downtown, and they thought I was absolutely, full of money and full of this and full of that because of projects. And I'm like going, are you kidding me? I have to get an increase, like a $25 increase just to cover the coffee you drink, at this particular point in time. It's just like, no, it's just that I'm happy is the only difference. I am just happy, and it doesn't make a difference. Whether you have money or don't, I can wake up and choose to be happy,
yep.
And
there you go.
That's like Oh, go ahead, Phyllis.
No, that's like he just said. That's like, I think that goes along with the ego and the insecure piece. I think the bigger the ego and versus letting a woman come or be in a relationship and care about you. If they care about you, they're going to care about you. But if they feel they have to put these things in front of them to make them more attractive, that's an issue.
Yeah.
You know, that you should like them, whether they're in their sweatpants or in their big old suit. And if it's a Lamborghini, well, I almost kind of hit my head on the roof. So I don't know.
One of my best friends, and you guys appreciate this. I belonged to a country club a number of years ago. My best friend, good looking guy, in shape, got all the toys in the world, owns his own business. And he had no guts to ask out anybody. And he said,
"What?
No, he wouldn't. I mean, seriously, everybody would go out with him. I mean, great guy, good guy, a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. So over a period of time, I lined him up literally with 5 10s, because he had no guts. And I'm like going, a lot of guys don't have guts. They can't go and they can't ask. Just go ask her if you want to go out. Go ask. Right? Am I right on that?
Oh yeah, my mom, when her and I will go shopping, she'll be like, do you notice how many guys check you out, but they're too scared to come up and say something? I'm like, well, then they're not worth it.
Well, they all assume you're with somebody else.
Well, do you see a ring on my hand?
No, but does that make any difference today? Seriously.
I mean, they could just say, hey. I mean, I'm not that mean. I'm not that mean of a person. Be like, nope.
Do you know what, Kara, though, coming from having, I've got 2 boys that they're, now they're at the age where they ask and they date. Believe it or not, one of them, he will go up and ask. The other one's scared death. I mean, he just is like, I can't. And I'm like, why not? You're an attractive guy. Go up. Man, I can't. I'm like, oh gosh. So it is I don't know what it is, trying to get them to go. Both of them different personalities, but they just are timid at asking a woman out. And I don't know if it's just
No, most guys believe that the other guys are better. They really do. I mean, they're not solid in their world, and unfortunately today, I think, and it's not just today. I mean, this has just been a lifetime. Just guys are gutless. They just have. Anyway, this guy had all the money in the world. I lined him up with 5 10s and maybe a couple 12s. Beautiful, stunning, gorgeous. Mm-hmm. And he always had the gift package. And first of all, it'd be a great dinner. He'd take him out on.
Yeah.
And then there would be another great dinner downtown Chicago. And then the third...
Gold Coast?
Always. I mean, the finest restaurant, $1,000 dinner. It didn't make a difference to him. I mean, money was no object. And then he would take him up to the cottage, and he had a $2 million cottage in one of the lakes up here. Mm-hmm. And then on about the 4th date, they'd always, for whatever reason, he thought buying them a bauble, like a really nice fur coat or jewelry or whatever, would be something I like. So I always would ask him after a period of time, so where are we on the dating scale now? Are we at the good dinner, the really better dinner, the fur coat, or, diamond and jewelry? But he started dating all 5 at the same time.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. And he came into, I was at a time working at K Jewelers, and this was when I was resurrecting my corporate world.
Yes.
And he comes in and he buys 5 gifts.
Oh, my God.
All the same.
Oh, my God.
And I said, what are you doing? He goes, well, if I buy them different, and I won't remember which one I gave to the one.
Oh, my God.
Oh, wow.
That's a check mark. Yeah. Don't date 5 girls at once or 5 guys.
And I said,
I wonder how you would notice the red flag, though. Okay, I'm wondering the women on the opposite side, would they see any red flag anywhere? And if he was, obviously he's intelligent, right?
Oh, extremely.
Successful.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, he's got to have this intelligence to him where, and I'm thinking, how would you do that on the opposite end? The girls not, are they,
to me, I told him, I said, this would wear me out. Just the emotional stress of it, trying to have the conversation of
and
just
trying to remember all of those conversations.
Yeah, and it wasn't like he was just, trying to bet him. That wasn't it at all. He was trying to find somebody to have a relationship with, and he just
kept going along.
Yeah. So what would you do with somebody like that, Kira? I mean, if you had somebody that you really, really like, this is about Kira Untapped. What do you do? What do you do to bring him into?
I don't
you don't
know.
Plot?
I mean, everybody's always like, well, why did you do that? I'm like, I don't know. Like, it's in the moment. Yeah. I don't know how
But you wouldn't know, though. She wouldn't know, right? She wouldn't know he's dating 4 other girls, right?
No, and one of them was in the reserves. Oh. And I said, when that girl finds out, that tank's going to come up over the hill and blow your house down because that girl really likes you of all the 5.
Oh,
and it was.
gosh.
I mean, that was ugly. That was ugly. But anyway, it didn't work out well. None of them
Oh, my
stayed
God.
around. So
he got 0 of them. Right?
0. And well, it's not that he wanted. He always felt what happened was he would because he wanted to. He would bathe them in gifts and a lifestyle and travel and everything else.
All 5 of them all at once.
Well,
still?
this over a period of time. I mean, it's like he integrated somehow and got it.
It's like a puzzle.
Yeah, and he found a way to do it. But obviously, if you sit and see that lifestyle,
Yeah.
and you have a person that's really nice. I mean,
Yeah.
he was a super guy. Okay,
Yeah.
you would want to try to gravitate to have a relationship,
Right.
You know,
I would be like, where is this going?
Yeah.
That's where I would have been.
Yeah.
Like after
Yeah.
the 3rd or 4th date, I'd be like, so where is this
know
going?
what? I was dating someone similar to that, but he what really I thought, world traveler, and I thought, okay, well, he's going to be a player. So I'm like, I don't know if I really want that. Well, then one day I said, hey, you can come on all my trips with me, and I was just like, my jaw just dropped. Went to slow. I was like, oh wow. So that to me was a serious moment. Like, okay, I need to say, all right, am I going to get serious? Is this because I could go? I have this opportunity to go if I wanted to, but that was a sense of letting me know, hey. And he gave me a key to the house. Here's a key to my house. And also, you want to go on this trip that, I'm going everywhere. Whenever I go out of town, you can come with me. And that was that right there was that moment of, oh, okay, so he wants something serious because he's wanting me to go on these trips with him. So I know he's not doing anything that he, not going to do. So I was going to go. But that was kind of at the same time odd to me as well because I'm thinking, wait a second, I can't go everywhere with you 24/7 because I do have my own. I like to doodle on my. I like to doodle. I can doodle for hours in my room and I don't know, read something, rearrange something, and that's my thinking time. But I would say that would be the moment. I mean,
that's another question. It's
What's
like,
that?
when do you know when you're serious? And like when you nobody has that talk of like, what are we anymore? Nobody does.
I don't know, Kara. I think the older they get, I know I'm a ranty, I don't know, but the older they get, it's in my experience that when you pass that 45 age, they're more direct in what they want. In my experience, they'll actually say, "What are you looking for? And they're either looking for marriage or looking for." But my thing is, you need to go through the engagement. Don't just ask someone the 3rd night you're out, "Hey, let's get married." I'm like, whoa, that's
a red flag right there.
I'm like, okay, red flag. You're codependent. Oh my God. Red flag. I was like, you got to have that, build that trust, get to know them, all that good jazz. But I think the older you get, they're getting closer to where, they want that companion. Maybe they've already dated and done all their whatever they do, and they just want someone to share their life with, so they're a little more direct in what their expectations are. So it gets easier, I think, maybe.
I hope so.
I don't know. I found out we just had a high school reunion, and the people that had stayed together through all the years are the people that met in my hometown.
Oh my God.
And it was a preponderance of people that stayed in their marriages, and it became apparent to me that when people go to college, you're meeting people from different cultures and extremely different backgrounds. Even though we're all in the same Midwest or whatever, there's some grounding on that. But even when people get into the relationships down the road, very different place in life. People think that it's like cookie cutter. It's like you go to the kitchen and you put in a pound of flour and a pound of this, a pound of that, and she likes the lake, she likes my kids, she likes to read, she likes to ride in a motorcycle, but some of the things that she doesn't do is that she doesn't keep her house clean. She doesn't. Her car's a mess, and her kids are just. But I can look past the kids because I want to have her. And they start. What are they negotiating?
Yeah.
What they can and can't do. And it becomes
the
more
80-20
of a.
rule.
Well, it's a bit. Yeah. What is it? What's the 80-20 rule to you, Phyllis?
Mine is like, okay, is that 20% that you can not get on? Mine's freaking for example, if that 20% is they don't have good hygiene, okay, they're out the door.
Ugh.
They may have everything else, but that's if they fall within that. No, I would say that would be the 30%, because then they wouldn't fall within the 20% I could accept. So they have to be hygienic. I mean, that's a number one. And
Bad teeth.
Sure.
Bad teeth.
Oh.
Bad teeth.
You just gotta brush your teeth and floss and go to the dentist. Like, yes.
Ugh.
Kira, you're right. You hit it. That's probably the number one.
There is like
hygiene.
Yep.
You gotta kiss that. You want that to be nice.
If not, you might puke.
Have some mints in your pocket.
I'm always like, do you want a piece of gum? Do you want a piece of gum? I'm not trying to hint at anybody, but like, ugh.
You know what? That goes back to, Randy, when you said different cultures. That's one thing I've experienced too. When you grow up, like I grew up outside in a country town where, we went hog hunting at lunchtime. And then I migrated into the city of San Antonio and then went and traveled different cultures, experienced that. But I think people that live in different areas, if you try to come together, sometimes their goals and the way their morals and values are so twisted, it's really hard to come together. And that's a huge thing, is when you don't have you can't even relate to that. That's like a deal breaker. I mean, because there's differences that arise when you are in, say, the city of LA and you grow up, and then someone from the country comes in, and you just have that, when you try to have a relationship together, it is like oil and water, because they don't have that frame of reference.
Yeah, I'm to the point in time now, my age. A good round of golf with one of my sons is extremely fulfilling. I think, honestly, I find women very intriguing. I do. Being a women's clothing buyer, I enjoyed that very, very much. I really did. I love making women look beautiful. I did at the time. I love beautiful women, and I love their personality. It's just that I have a part of me that it just doesn't fit well. I mean, I got that. It's like oil and water, and it's, for me, many of the times I just call bullshit on a lot of it. I was like, come on, I know you got a hidden agenda in there somewhere. Out with it, come on, because I know it's there. But we always have our own agendas. It's just, how do they fit? Do you really love that person? Is that, is that a whole thing? I did a whole master's thing on this. Not that I had a problem with it.
It totally makes me think of that girl that I was telling you about last week at that concert. She's like 18, 19. She comes up to me, Kira, I just got engaged. And I'm like, congratulations.
Awesome.
And I was like, you do realize that you're probably going to get a divorce because you're 18, but like, have fun playing a wedding that's not going to probably pan out okay. I mean, what I know now compared to when I was 18, 19, God bless that I did not, was never in a serious relationship back then.
Well, we call the place, Phyllis.
Some people are better off as friends.
What's that?
I said, some people you're better off as friends. Like, I'm friends with several, my exes, except for two, but I'm friends with them because we're better off as friends.
Fortunately for me, I'm really in a good place with my exes. This Thursday, Thanksgiving, my ex-1 will be there, and my mother, my first two and grandkids are going to be there, and we get along great. She comes out, my second wife, we all get along. I mean, that sounds weird, but it was one of those things. I think we worked hard after we got divorced.
Yeah.
And to try to, my first and I were the first ones to have joint custody in the county we lived. And so we had to make it work. And and our kids turned out great. It's just that right now, in my world, I hope everybody can find somebody to live with and be happy. I don't understand that part of women. They're just heartbreakers.
Living together, happy, or
Well, we're gonna have to explore this further next time, Kira.
Yes.
What topic are we going to unfold in Kira's life
next week?
Yeah.
I don't know.
How about cooking with Kira?
Oh my gosh, I love cooking.
Cooking with Mom.
Oh my gosh.
How important are moms in
drinking
with Mom while cooking for a dysfunctional family?
Yes.
I think that would be perfect. Phyllis, do you want to be a part of it?
I'm on that.
I just think that's what Thanksgiving's all about.
Oh yeah.
Is it,
my next
Go ahead.
Wednesday through Thursday will definitely be interesting per se. Yeah. Babysitting and cooking and cleaning.
Well, I'm going to be playing with my grandkids, and all's good. I can take them downstairs, and it's Hot Wheels time for Grampy Donuts, or drinking heavily.
I think this will be the first Thanksgiving. I think they're in different places, like myself, and then my kids are, they're each Because if we're not all together, all four of us, me and three, if we're not all four, that gives us all, hey, then can I go to my friends? And, I haven't seen them in, so can I stay Thanksgiving there? And the other one, can I be over there? And then they're both like, hey, Mom, why don't you come with me over to my friends? And the other one's like, why don't you come with me over there? And I'm thinking, okay, you guys go and do your thing, so I have no clue what I'm going to do.
Yep.
Well, we're coming to the end. We wish you were here this afternoon, Phyllis, because we're going to write some really dysfunctional country western music. Show.
I'm on it.
Oh, it's gonna be fun. It was brought by the Bottle Shop in downtown Lake Geneva. That's where we're headed out. The Bottle Shop and Wine Bar, 617 West Main Street.
Woo!
It'll never be the same.
Nope.
Thank you, Kira.
Anytime, Randy. Thank you, Phyllis.
Have fun and enjoy your on Main Street there.
Well, we're gonna have some more fun coming up by Thanksgiving, and if Thanksgiving morning we wake up and have nothing better to do, we'll call Phyllis up and we'll describe the kumbaya moment of the red setter sitting next to the fireplace, waiting for Phyllis and the family to show up.
Awesome, because I don't have no clue what I'm going to be at.
All right. Well, we'll talk to you next week, Phyllis. Thanks. You have fun out in Denver. All right. Have fun skiing.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, Kira.
Woo!
Gonna be fun.
Yes.
We got nothing accomplished in that.
Nope. Not at all.
I don't understand women. You don't understand men.
It's totally okay. I'm ready to be single.
We broke bad we broke bad on a boyfriend. He just broke up.
It's okay if he hears it. He'll know.
I know.
I don't care.
What a great way to find out you're broken up. Live radio. Happy Thanksgiving, y'all. Kira Peterson, Randy Weckerly. That's Kira Untapped.
Woo! Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Yeah, it was fun. What more can anybody ask?
Not being dysfunctional, I guess. Don't get engaged when you're 18.
Never. All right. Talk to you.